Hi, welcome back to Shobbs Health and Wellness Podcast. My name is Sarah Shobbs and I am the host of Shobbs Health and Wellness Podcast. If you're new here, welcome to my podcast and I'm so excited to have you on this podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and for my return listeners, welcome back to my podcast. I am really excited doing this again. Like, it feels like I have gone for months or years, but then I'm back and we move. So recently someone reached out to me and she had to open up to me that she's going through a lot and she's stressed. She's under pressure from home, combined with the work stress, combined with a lot of things. And I'm like, really, I think I need to discuss about this. I'm sure you know about the topic I want to talk about, but I'll be right back. Then we'll continue from where I stopped. Welcome back to Shobbs Health and Wellness Podcast. The topic I want to talk about today is about stress. Yes. Like, do you think I should talk about this, or I should just assume or just move on with everything? But no, I'm going to talk about it. So, stress. When we talk about stress, what happens when we continue burning the candle at both ends until we reach physical and emotional exhaustion? Like, just like the candle itself, we risk burning ourselves out. Yes. So there is a particular parable of a frog sitting in a pot on the stove. If dropped into a pot of boiling water, a frog would likely notice and try to escape. Yeah, but when placed in a pot that is slowly approaching a boy, the frog doesn't notice until the water has already reached an unbearable heat. At that point, it's too hot for the frog to survive. So have you ever experienced a slow acceptance of the pressure around you until everything is just too much and you can barely cope? So if so, you are not alone. So what if we could notice the boiling sign earlier and even turn down the heat on time? When we talk about stress, what is stress? Stress is the psychological, physiological, and behavioral response by an individual when they perceive a lack of equilibrium between the demand placed upon them and the ability to meet those demands, which over a period of time leads to ill health. Stress can also be defined as non-specific response of the body to any demand. And when we talk about the stress, how can you identify that you are stressed? So we have some symptoms of stress which will help you determine or notice, just like a sign of you being under stress. So when you have difficulty with sleeping, it seems you're under stress. Then when you gain weight, either weight gain or weight loss, when you are irritable, when you have this panic attack, headache, difficulty concentrating, sweaty hand or feet, heartburn, excessive sleeping. I talk about difficulty sleeping. We also have excessive sleeping. We have social isolation, fatigue, nausea, feeling overwhelmed, and the rest. We have so many signs and symptoms of stress. There is also dryness of the throat. You don't even care if you drink enough water. So I want you to know that there is a difference between stress and burnout. Stress is a response. Burnout is the accumulation of the excessive stressor over time, which results in unmanageable stress level. Are you stressed or you are burnout? That's the question I think you should be asking yourself. So the main focus for today's podcast is stress management. How can we manage stress? Firstly, I'm going to share some tips with you on how to manage stress. The first tips I would share is that you have to identify the source of the stress in your life. What is causing stress in your life? What is that thing that is causing stress over time? You need to identify the stress, and with identifying the stress, this would actually help you to know how to manage your stress and what to do in managing the stress. So So identify the stress in your life. What is causing the stress? Is it your work? Is it your marriage? Is it people surrounding you? Just identify what is causing the stress. Or should I say is Lagos? Like Lagos can actually be another stressor in our life. The second one is that you start. How do you actually want to identify the stress in your life? Start by having a stress journal. Like it doesn't sound well, but I think it's good for us to have a stress journal. For me, I just have a general journal. So a stress journal can help you identify the regular stressor in your life and the way you deal with them. So each time you feel stress, keep track of it in your journal or use a stress tracker on your phone. There are apps that can help you do this. So when you have stress tracker on your phone, you can keep track of all the stressors in your life. Keeping a daily log will enable you to see the pattern, and so you write down what caused your stress. So make a guess if you are unsure. What is that thing? So having a stress journal or a stress tracker every day and keeping daily track of what happened all through the day, it's actually important. So just write it down. Another thing you need to ask yourself is that how you felt, both physical and emotionally. So how do you feel about the whole thing? Yes. And how do you have when you are stressed? In response of that stress, how do you have? So what you did to make yourself feel better. So what's that particular thing you did to make yourself feel better? So my whole story is when I resumed back to work after being after a long break. So I was stressed, and I was stressed. So what I did when I noticed that I can't really take it anymore physically and emotionally, I was just down. Like I can't even do anything. I can't function well. So what I did was music. Music is one of the therapy I run to when I'm under stress. Is it I listen to a very cool music, or I listen to music that would energize me, that would increase my energy level. Yeah, so that's what I did. So I had to play music and I was dancing. It's a vibe kind of music, so my mood came back. So that is how I dealt with my stress, the stressor in my life, and that actually helped to feel better. So another tip is that practice the 4 A's. So I'm going to tell you about 4 A's of stress management, and you need to practice it. So the first A is avoid, alter, adapt, and accept. Yeah, let's repeat that. Avoid, alter, adapt, and accept. Those are the 4 A's of stress management. So you have to practice the 4 A's. So the first one is avoid. Avoid unnecessary stress. Yes, it is not healthy to avoid a stressful situation that needs to be addressed, but you may be surprised by the number of stressors in your life that you can eliminate. So learn how to say no. Yes, know your limits and stick to it. Learn how to say no. If you can't do it, I'm sorry, I don't think I can take up this task today, but is it possible I do this tomorrow? Learn how to say no. Know your limits. Yes. So whether in your personal or your professional life, taking no more than you can handle, like taking what you can handle, is surefire recipe for stress. So you distinguish between the should and the must, and when possible, say no to taking on too much. So avoid people who stress you out. Yes. I need to shout this again. Avoid them. People that will stress you out, just avoid them and put them at their own corner. So if someone consistently causes stress in your life, limit the amount of time you spend with them, or you probably end the relationship. So stop sticking with somebody that would always stress you out. Like, I can't overemphasize this, but there are some relationships that they are another stressor in somebody's life. Yes, I know you can testify to this. Some guys give some people headaches. Some ladies even give some guys headaches. So if you know that your girlfriend is part of your stressor, or your boyfriend or the person you are in relationship with is part of your stressor, please eliminate them, or you avoid that kind of people. Avoid those people in your life. So I don't want to talk too much on this. So another thing is that take control of your environment. I'm still talking about avoid unnecessary stress. So take control of your environment. If the evening news makes you anxious, turn off the TV. If you identify that the traffic making you tense, take a walk. If you're in traffic, you cannot calm down, because all this conductor, the way they used to do sometimes, you say, if the traffic, like you're just stuck in traffic for like 1-2 hours, it's not moving, or it's just moving slowly. You can't calm down and say you want to take a walk. I think it's possible. Maybe you're sitting very close to the door, so that you know how to track bus that you entered, and you can follow the bus when the road is eventually free. But it it's actually possible for you to just come down and take a long walk. So the bus will meet you probably at the front. And for the rich people in Lagos now, you get I said Nigeria, I mean Lagos. People rich in Lagos, you can take Uber, you can book for ride, that kind of thing. But when you say you leave your Uber driver and say, oh yeah, meet me at the front, it's possible. You can if you identify that the traffic making you tense, take a walk. If you know that going to the market is unpleasant for you, don't go to the market. Just do your grocery shopping online. It's so simple, like people do online now. And thank God for COVID is really making a lot of things very, very easy. So I think you write down your to-do list, analyze your schedule and responsibility and daily tasks. So if you have got too much on your plate, drop tasks that are not really necessary to the bottom of the list or eliminate them entirely. So have a to-do list every day. It's not a must that you have to meet up with your to-do list, but you can actually achieve it. So if you feel like it's too much, you can actually analyze and either drop some of the to-do list at the bottom list, or you eliminate them, or you assign those tasks to someone else to help you do that. So with that, you are reducing some stress in your life. Then I'll talk about the second A, which is alter the situation. So if you can't avoid a stressful situation, try to alter them. Yes, fun. This involves changing the way you communicate and operate in your daily life. Express your feelings instead of bottling them up. Alter the situation. Express your feeling instead of bottling them up. If someone is bothering you, you can communicate your concern in an open and respectful way to the person. So if you got an exam to study for and your chatting roommate, somebody that you love chatting a lot, just got home, you can tell your friend before you even start talking that I only have 5 minutes to discuss with you. So after 5 minutes, sorry, I have to go back to what I'm doing. Yes, it's possible. So if you don't voice your feeling, resentment will build and the stress will increase. So that is what happened to my friend. Thank God she didn't bottle all the old thing to herself. She was able to open up and voice out. Even just having somebody to listen to you is even another way of managing your stress. Yes, have somebody you can communicate with. I've talked about express your feelings, be willing to compromise. That's another alter. So when you ask someone to change their behavior, be willing to do the same too. About the relationship that is part of the stressor, you can tell the person, try and open up to the person and say that, oh, this is what you do most time that I don't like, and actually part of my stressor. And when you tell the person, if the person is willing to change, also you to be willing to compromise a lot of things and be willing to change your own behavior too. So create a balanced schedule. All work and no play is a recipe for burnout. Yes, try to find a balance between work and family life, social activities, and your daily responsibility and downtime. It's not that you carry work on your head like it's one big deal or something else. Find time to have fun too. Find time to hang out with friends and family just to ease the stress. The third A is adapt to the stressor. Adapt to the stressor. So if you can't change the stressor, change yourself. You can adapt to the stressful situation and regain your sense of control by changing your expectation and attitude. I was stressed when I traveled. A lot of things stressed me, but I was being positive about the whole thing because I know that it's just for a short period of time. I was being positive about the whole thing. So another way is that rather than being annoyed about the traffic jam, look at it as an opportunity to pause and regroup, or listen to your favorite radio station, or enjoy some alone time in the bus. Yes, sometimes when I'm in traffic like that, it's either I'm listening to music or I'm listening to my favorite radio station, or I'm using that time to pull down my to-do list. Sometimes that's the period I used to connect with my friends. So if I know that I haven't chatted with somebody for a long time, or I have not responded to some chat or some mail at that time, because because I know there's traffic and I cannot jump now. So I'll use that particular time to attend to some of the things I have not attended to, like mail, messages, make phone calls, and just gist why I'm in the traffic. So it's another therapy for you, or another stress management that you can use to help yourself. And then cash cruise on WhatsApp. So I used to cash cruise very well, but that's not the topic for today. Focus your energy and your time elsewhere. So I've mentioned avoid, alter, adapt, and the last one is accept the thing you can't change. Yes, some sources of stress are unavoidable. You can't prevent or change stressors such as death of a loved one. Yeah, a serious illness. Yes, so in such cases, the best way to cope with stress is to accept things as they are. Acceptance may be very difficult, but in a long run, easier than railing against a situation you can change. So don't try to control the uncontrollable. Many things in life are beyond our control, and that's just true. A lot of things are beyond our control. So there are some things that you have to accept. So rather than stressing out over time, focus on the things you can control, such as way you choose to react to problem. Look for the upside. When facing major challenges, try to look at them as opportunity for personal growth. Yes. Sometimes you take up courses that you know that, hey, within the time that you're doing this course, it's going to be very, very stressful. But you know that it's for your personal growth. Yeah, it's a positive one. So you have to just accept it that way. Learn to forgive. Accept the fact that we live in an imperfect world and that people make mistakes. So let go of anger and resentment. Free yourself from negative energy by forgiving and moving up. I'm still talking about tips number 2, which is practice the 4 A's of stress management. That is avoid, alter, adapt, and accept. The third one is get moving. So when you are stressed, the last thing you probably feel like doing is getting up and exercising. But physical activities is a huge stress reliever. So when you feel you're stressed, just do some little exercise. Yes, exercise releases endorphin that makes you feel good, and it can also serve as valuable distraction from your daily worries. So when you exercise, just 30-minute exercise. There are also easy ways to incorporate exercise into your daily routine. So put on some music and dance. So it's not until when you start doing rigorous exercise before you know that you are really exercising. You can just play music and just dance around. The first tip is connect to people. You can't do this world alone. Make friends with people that have vibe. People like in this world, you need to have different type of friends in your life. There are some friends that are cool. There are some friends that are silent. There are some friends that the energy level they have is on point. So you have to have those kind of people in your life. Another thing is try and build relationship at work. Reach out to a colleague at work. Help someone else by volunteering. Have lunch or coffee with a friend. Ask a loved one to check in with you regularly. Accompany someone to the movie or concert. Go for a walk with a workout buddy. Yes, you need to have that kind of people in your life. So another tip is make time for fun and relaxation. Everything is not about work, or about I need to meet up with this conference or another conference. There are so many things you can do. Make time for fun and relaxation. Visit new places you haven't visited before. Hang out with friends and family. Do so many things that you think that would actually help you to relax more. Another thing is manage your time better. Poor time management can cause a lot of stress. Manage your time better. You can even set a reminder. Oh, I want to spend 1 hour doing this. Break project into small steps. Delegate responsibility. If you know you can do it alone, delegate to somebody else to do it for you. Prioritize your tasks. Then don't overcommit yourself. So avoid scheduling things back to back. So another thing is that maintain balance with a healthy lifestyle. Eat healthy diet. Stop eating junks. Yeah, start your day right with breakfast and keep your energy up and your mind clear with balanced nutritious meal throughout the day. So this is one thing. You can even time when you will be eating in a day. So if you're at work, you know, oh, by 12 I need to go and eat. But when you now extend it and you're not eating by 12, you're eating around 3. So you can plan your meal for the whole day. And I can't overemphasize this. Get enough sleep. Adequate sleep fuels your mind as well as your body. So feeling tired would increase your stress because it may cause you to think irrationally. Stop saying, oh, there's no time to sleep. I don't play with my sleep. except if I'm on night duty. So even if I didn't get enough sleep over the night, I try as much as possible to pay up my sleep debt. Yes, in the afternoon, that's what I do. So learn to relieve stress in the moment. I think that's all for stress. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. A very big news. Very soon I'll be releasing an episode, more or less like a sex education series on my podcast. Are you excited about that? I am really excited about the whole thing. Watch out for that episode. And also, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Please do not forget to drop a review for me on any of the podcast platform you're listening to this. Rate us on all the podcast platform you're listening to this. I would really appreciate that if you do that. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Do have a wonderful weekday, month. I don't know the time you're listening to this. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful time, and a wonderful week. Bye.